The corner, the corner, the corner. Hey, welcome. Come on into Cousin Ed's Corner. This podcast is where you'll find real, authentic conversation, organic conversation, unscripted, unfiltered conversation, like you're home with your cousin. It's all about life. It's about finance. It's about spirituality. It's about love and everything in between. I'm your host, Cousin Ed. I'm excited to bring you along on this journey. So sit back and listen in as we dive into a wide range of topics. I have some diverse guests coming on with an array of thoughts and opinions. My goal is to create a space all for us to connect and communicate. It's not really about me. It's about the community as a whole. Let's enjoy it. Let's sit back. Let's think about our past. Let's move into our future. It's about the corner, the corner, the corner. So no matter how you cut it or slice it, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Cousin Ed's Corner. The corner, the corner, the corner. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? We're back. We're back with another one. Cousin Ed's Corner. Yes, indeed. This is a wind down Wednesday. But this is a special one. It's a special one. Milestones are happening over here, and just want to speak on it. Just want to give an update on Cousin Ed's Corner. So this show is all about an update and talking about certain milestones. Before we get into the episode, definitely as always, thank you. Love each and every one of you. This is special. Like I said, all these shows are special, but having you here, having you listen is special. And you may not I may not know who you are. You may not really know who I am, but just you hitting the play button, you listening, you taking your time out is special to me. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We won't stop. God willing, we won't stop. We're going to keep this going. And the numbers show that, it's worth doing, right? And honestly, it's not about numbers, right? If I had one listener, one follower, one family member, one person just to listen to the show, I'm happy with it because it's my therapy as well. But some people in the messages that I get tell me how valuable it is to them. So I appreciate y'all. Don't forget, you can always reach out to me. Any social media platform, Cousin Ed's Corner. That's Cousin Ed's Corner. You can DM me on there as well. You can leave a text message for the show. That's 762-333-2032. That's 762-333-2032. You can leave a text message for the show. And if you need to reach me professionally, you can send me a professional email at info@cousinedscorner.com. That's info@cousinedscorner.com. I do follow up there, and I'll give you a little bit of insider news, right? We've been asked to join certain networks, and right now we're contemplating what we want to do. So that's a little insider news. So if you do want to reach me via email, you can email me there, and we can have conversations there professionally. But you could DM me anyway if you just want to quickly do it. So got all that out the way. Like I said again, thank you. Continue to share the show. Share the show with your friends, family, and loved ones. Don't keep it to yourself, right? As they say nowadays, don't gatekeep it. If you are enjoying this, continue to share it with your friends. Just throw it at them, and they may not be their cup of tea, right? But you can share it with them and see what they like. See if they like it. So, in saying all of that, I said this was a monumental. It is a milestone show. So Before I get into that, I'm going to tee it up a little bit and tell you a little bit about Cousin Ed's Corner. For those who've been around, know most of this. For those who are brand new, who are just joining us, you may not know this. So I started podcasting. I was brought into, let me make sure I clarify. I was brought into podcasting many years ago. It seems like forever. I say 2007 maybe. I gotta look at some of the old shows, but it's well over 10 years, well over 12 years ago. I was brought into podcasting. My cousin was doing a sitcom on cable, and he wanted to do his own show, and podcasting was in its infancy. It was in its baby stage, and he wanted to do a podcast, right? So much of the production of a TV show is not needed for podcasts back then. I'm putting up air quotes, back then. And we can easily sit somewhere and record with minimum equipment. You had your mixer and everything else, but with minimum equipment, and you can do it at your leisure. So we did a podcast. He had a podcast. I was part of the podcast. He brought me in as a 50-50 partner, right? So we called the 50-50 Brothers. We were on our own network. We formed our own network, which was NDN Radio, Next Door Neighbor Radio. All of that, licensed and everything, had all of that. We had another partner, another co-host. Her name is DJ Naturel. So big up DJ Naturel. So it was the 50-50 Brothers with DJ Naturel, or DJ Naturel with the 50-50. However you want to put it, we never put one above the other. But the headliner of the show was Mr. Moody. Mr. Moody is definitely the headline of any show he's a part of. My cousin, my brethren, my brother, my heart, it's my love over there. He can headline any show you put him on. So me with my computer background and being able to produce, I was able to edit video before. Coming into edit audio only was easy. Being able to produce shows and put them out. We did hundreds of shows. On to full production with crowds of people around, on-site visits, celebrity guests, groundbreaking artists. We did a lot over there with Indian Radio. The show evolved into 5 shows a week. Now, this is where Moody comes in, and he's able to record 5 shows because now he can do it from his cell phone. He shoots it to me. We put the show out. We do 1 show a week together. We meet up. We do a show. Then, time and travel and kids and everything came into play. Moody started doing shows himself. And during all this time, let me back up. During all this time when we had the 50-50 Brothers, I was his cousin. I am his cousin. And Cousin Ed was, what they called me, right? Cousin Ed, right? And when he started doing more shows solo, I would lend my voice to the show by sending in a clip, and it'd be Cousin Ed's Corner, right? So Mr. Moody's Neighborhood, you have Cousin Ed's Corner, part of that, and I'll send my clips in. DJ Naturel will send her mixes in, and we still work together as a group. Moody did 99% of it. We lent our parts, right? Time goes on. Unfortunately, but fortunately, Moody had he discovered some health things, and he's okay now. So let me say that. But it took some time off from podcasting. Every so often, he'll put something out. I'll put something out. But I stayed consistently putting stuff out. Not I'll say not professionally. I say more privately. So if you were in my private circle of friends, you were getting texts and emails from me during the holidays, or just during times where I felt I had to say something. You'll get a text. So Easter, you may get a resurrection text, or not text, but an audio file of Cousin Ed's Corner, right? During Christmas, you may get something. Or like I said, when I felt something, I'll send something out. So moving forward, I joined another group of people, another group of individuals doing currency trading, right? Forex trading. And during this time, I felt the group needed something else, right? My voices kept want to pull myself to it. So I asked the leaders, can I be part of the group? And they brought me in as family, and I was part of the group, part of the leadership. And I started lending my voice to what I felt outside of trading, right? I had a platform. I could now share my voice. I also partnered up with, I call him my brethren as well. And it's actually true. I use the word brethren from his show, the Brethren podcast, Destrian Wells. We partnered up and started doing a Motivational Monday. It was a day we wasn't trading like that. So we bring people in and do a motivational show to start the week. So we start the week with Motivational Monday. Destrian, AJ, and his other partner Terrell were already doing a Saturday show. So they did a Thursday show. So they had other shows they were doing. Part of it was trading, but a lot of it became just social conversation. So as we were doing that, I'm on Telegram, and I'm in other groups. I'm in a vegan group because I'm vegan now, and this was a raw food group. And since I'm already doing shows, I started to post my show in that group. And one of the young ladies in the group heard my voice and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, and she would do her audio recording as well. All this is organic, right? We're not doing it for promotion. We're just doing it because we love people. And I heard her, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I can hear you're polished. She's like professionally polished. I can hear the microphone that she's recording on. I can hear the intent in her voice. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "Well, I do this. I have my own podcast." I said, "Oh man, great. I had a podcast. This is just some stuff that I'm doing. Here's a couple of my old episodes, check them out." And I wasn't doing it for promotion. I was like, I'm just a fan of podcasting. And I sent some things to her, and she honestly sent me back and said, You're cheating. You're cheating the world. The world needs to hear you." And that, when somebody says something, it really when it really resonates with you, you can feel it in your bones. You hear that saying, you can feel it in your bones. I can feel it this time, right? Out of all the times people said thank you for my shows that I sent out, this time right here, I felt it, right? It came from someone who's already in the industry. It came from honesty. It came from just her heart, and it felt like it was meant for me to hear. So now I'm hearing this, I'm like, well, I do it because I love it. I love people. I'm giving her the spill. She's like, "Nah, you BSing," and she's being hard with me. She's like, "You're BSing." She said, "You need to do this for real. The world needs to hear you. You need to do this for real." So we got on the phone, had a phone conversation. All this was via either voicemail, back and forth voicemail or text. And we got on the phone, and she was like, "Listen, I don't know what you're doing, but I can hear that you've been doing this a while. You need to go ahead and take it serious. This is what I have. You can get what I have, or you can, keep doing it over the phone. You're not going to fail either way, but if you want to do this, step into it professionally, do it." So took me a second to think about it. I'm saying not literal second, but took me a minute, a day, think about it. And I said, maybe I need this. Maybe I need this in my life. I went ahead and purchased some of the equipment that she talked about. Got my microphone. Some of the stuff that me and Moody had would have worked, but I wanted to go a different route this time. I went and visited a friend of mine who was doing podcasting at the same time, saw his setup, and said, okay, so let me see if I can do it similar to what he's doing. And from what she's telling me, I can definitely get this done. So purchased my mixer, purchased my microphone, moved my desk around. I was using one desk for trading, one desk at the time. I don't even think was I even working for this company yet? Well, I made my office into a podcast studio, half trading studio, and sat here and cut one of the first shows for Cousin Ed's Corner. And it felt good, right? And I already knew the platform I was going to put it out on, because me and Moody was already part of a platform that can house your podcast. So I was already doing that. I found the page I wanted to put it on, did the background, did everything I wanted to do to get started and put the show out. I shared the show with the audience where I already was with the trading group. I shared it with her. I shared it with friends and family, and the show took off. I mean, it was a hit. I had a show already done that was already part of the platform, so it was easy just to pick up from there. So I'm looking now. So part of this would be me looking at this show to tell you some of the shows that I have out there. But I did a show back called Remembering 9/11, and I did this back March 13th. I mean, that's what I'm saying, March 13th. I'm looking at the 3. September 13th, I aired the show, 2021, right? This was a show, I believe the show with me and my mom. I did this show before coming into podcasting with what Queen Terrell Michelle told me. I don't know if I said her name before. Her name is Queen Terrell Michelle. I say Queen, but a sister of mine, Terrell Michelle. Check out some of her podcasts. She still has it out there. But I had this one show for Cousin Ed's Corner already out there, because I wanted to do Cousin Ed's Corner before and never did it. But this one show was already out there. So September 13th, 2021, right? So you can go listen to that first airing of the show, right? Then I came into a year later is when I actually met her and we talked about it. This was How Will You Be Remembered? How will you be remembered? So that's the first true when I said I'm stepping into this 10 toes in and doing a show, right? And that show was September 19th, 2022. September 19th, 2022. This is when I stepped into podcasting for real and said, I'm 10 toes in, I'm all in, right? And I did one episode, which would probably end up being, I have to look at it, probably end up being my Motivational Monday, right? But I didn't even start with a Motivational Monday because I didn't know I was going to do a Motivational Monday. But came in and Wednesday, I was like, I'm sitting here, I got this equipment. None of this is planned. None of this is planned. It's all organic. None of this is planned, right? So I said, okay, Wednesday came around. The show did okay. But I'm here. I'm here now. What else is there to do? And I'm going off of my training with Moody, right? You have this platform. You have the mic. You have a voice. Do something. So I ended up doing a Wind Down Wednesday. And it's September 21st. So that's 2 days later, I did a Wind Down Wednesday. That show was out. Then Friday came around. I'm like, hey, I'm here. So I did a TGIF. Let me show you how this show transforms, right? I did a TGIF, right? Thank God it's Friday. And this was September 23rd. So I did that. And that show did well as well. Right? All his shows to be a new podcaster did well, right? And I asked you to go to the bottom of your list. You'll see these shows. Play them. If you don't know who I am, you can see how far I've come if you listen to these shows. All right, so we move into the following week, and I do a Motivational Monday, but I don't record this show. Don't forget, I said I had shows that I've been doing for years. And I ended up taking one of my previous shows that I did years ago. I don't know how many years, I don't know when that show was originally recorded, but I did a Motivational Monday. Put your negatives in his solution, right? Put your negatives in his solution. And I called it a replay because I know it was a show I previously did, but this show was a great show, so I wanted to put it out. And I have tons of shows that I have originally from me putting out on different platforms. So I wanted to put this out, and I might start putting these out as throwbacks. So check out that show. Let me know what you think of the original shows, but definitely check out that show. It's going to be September 26, 2022. Put your negatives in his solution. Check that out, right? Now, like I said, I'm 10 toes in, right? 10 toes in. The next show I want to do is Who Are We? Because now I'm coming into myself and I'm trying to figure out, I want y'all to know who I am, right? For those who are brand new, don't forget the show was going out to my friends and family. So those who don't know me, I want to let you know who are we, right? So Who Are We? Featuring Uncle Amos. This is part one. Uncle Amos. Amos is my dad. And it wasn't about me. It's about how did I get here? How did Cousin Ed get here? I got here through my father. And if you listen to this show, you can find out who he is. And it may give you some insight of who I am. So Who Are We? Featuring Uncle Amos. So this is week 2, I believe. Yeah, week 2. I'm already in another TGIF, right? Now Friday coming around, another TGIF. I come back after the TGIF with a Motivational Monday, come back with a Wind Down Wednesday, and then my next show, let me see how God had this working, right? The next show was a Financial Freedom Friday, a pilot show. I called it a pilot show because my first time doing it. I said, let me see how this works. I did a Financial Freedom Friday pilot show. Another great show. It did well, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and read all of these shows, but I'm gonna get into the next week, and then I'll stop there and move forward, right? So the next week I do another Motivational Monday, called Mind Your Business. Great show. Come in again, Wind Down Wednesday, Positive Affirmations. The next show that evolved out of Cousin Ed's Corner was still a TGIF, but guess what? I said, thank God for everything. So all of you who are new, listen to the show, you hear on Friday, thank God for everything. That's how it came about. I wasn't only happy about saying Friday TGIF. I was more or less saying, let's thank God for everything. Because all of this is happening now, and it's not about a Friday, it's about everything. So that's how thank God for everything came about. I was just happy in knowing that, the show is going on. God is so good. And it's not about just waiting to Friday. I want to thank God for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thank God for every moment. Thank God for every minute. Thank God for every second. I was thanking God for everything. So that's how the evolution of Cousin Ed's Corner started, right? That's how the origin, you know how now all these movies have the origin story. That's the origin of Cousin Ed's Corner, right? That's the origin of it. I'm not going to read all of the rest of the shows. I'm trying to move forward to some of the other shows. But my first guest was my mother for, remember 9/11, I believe. Next one was my father. I did 2 episodes with him. Who Are We? Then I went into bringing on Queen Terilyn Michelle. And I'm jumping ahead now, right? Bringing on Queen Terilyn Michelle, thanking her for being an integral part of Cousin Ed's Corner and starting me off and giving me the push that I needed. Now I'm jumping weeks now, right? Jumping weeks. One show I definitely want to point out that I did was with the Financial Friday. Well, it was a Financial Friday with Dr. Pia Washington. She graced us with that show. Moving forward, had my mother on again. Who Are We? Mom Walker, part 1. Jumping forward, I did a throwback. Thank God for everything. It was a throwback Friday, breast cancer awareness. Don't forget, I did a bunch of shows. This was a show I did years ago when my cousin found out she had breast cancer. I did this show, and it was during breast cancer awareness time. I wanted to point out some key things about breast cancer awareness. So I did that show. Moving forward, I had another guest on Financial Freedom Friday. I'm not going to read everybody's name that I had on the show. I'm not going to go through all these shows because it's too many to go through, but I definitely want to point this out. I'm going to say this one here. Thank God for everything. God has more answers than Google, Siri, and Alexa. And I'm going to say God has more answers than ChatGPT now. ChatGPT wasn't even out yet. So God has more answers, right? So definitely check that out. Moving forward, there's too many pages to go through, right? But there's some key things I want to point out. Some key people. This is when My Sister Wins, We All Win came out. And I had the first person on. I couldn't do it without having that first person on. Aisha Taylor Issa was on When My Sister Wins, We All Win. This is January now. January 11th, 2023. So Aisha Issa was on talking about the Sister Shop, talking about Sister in Business Expo. I am a proud sponsor of them. I'm an ambassador of them, and wanted to have her on because I asked her, can I use that title, When My Sister Wins, We All Win? Because it's trademarked, right? For those who don't know about trademark, she has a trademark on that. I wanted to know, could I use it? So when I say that show, it's because of her, right? She was already using it, but I wanted to big up and promote and support our sisters, and I asked her, can I use it? So that show came about. So it was a new show. So if you don't see right now, I was building a network, right? Network of shows. You go to ABC, you go to NBC, you go to ESPN. All these networks have different shows. So you may have ESPN 30 for 30. You may have Sports, and you may have... So Cousin Ed's Corner has several shows within Cousin Ed's Corner, right? And I brought this new show in called When My Sister Wins, We All Win. So you have Motivational Monday. You have Wind Down Wednesday. You have Financial Freedom Friday. You have Thank God for Everything. You have Who Are We? You have When My Sister Wins, We All Win. You have, did I say Financial Freedom? Yeah, Financial Freedom. So you have all of these different shows on this network of Cousin Ed's Corner. Hopefully you can find whatever you want on Cousin Ed's Corner. So moving forward, 1,000 different shows are in here. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm going to jump forward. Maybe I do another show of a recap of all of what we have. I normally try to do recaps every month. I got away from it for the summer. I was traveling a lot this summer, so I didn't do any recaps. I think June and July, I may try to get back to doing recaps every month. But definitely go through the library of shows and check out some of the shows. I have some tremendous guests on. Who am I thinking about? Destrian Wells, my brethren. I said my brethren was on the show with me for Financial Freedom Friday. Season Dialogue. Whew. I had her on. She's a heavy hitter. Definitely check her out. That queen is doing big things, so check her out. I've had just local people on. I don't want to start naming names. I will say one name. Atrice Hart. Big up from Dr. Peter Washington. Atrice Hart. She definitely hit home with a lot of good information about caregiving. Devin Chrome talked about grief. I can name a list and litany of people who've been on the show, and I have a whole new list of people that are waiting to be on the show. Some are already recorded to come out. It's amazing, some of the guests and people who have come on Cousin Ed's Corner. So think about it. You're stopping by your cousin's house and you walk in and he's already talking to somebody, and you sit down and you listen. That's what Cousin Ed's Corner is really about. It's about you just coming over, hanging out with your cousin. So I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I can go on and on. I'm only on page 2, really, of shows. And that's the reason why we're here today, right? I left it to the end to tell you we have reached a milestone of 300 shows. We've reached a milestone of 300 shows. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try this. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad. It's corny. Let's see if it works. It may come in, it may not. I have applause on the board. I don't use it often. Let's try it one more time. I don't turn it on often. I hear it in the background. I don't have headphones on today, but I hear it in the background. So you heard the applause. I'm amazed by this. 300 episodes. I'm not going to say effortless because I put work into it, but not planned. I didn't come into this to say I was going to do all of these shows. I didn't say I was going to take all the time. I didn't say I was going to meet all of you. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thank God for it all because He's the only one that made this happen, allowed it to happen. I thank each and every one of you for taking the time out to listen, to be a part of this. There are some big things coming this next year of Cousin Ed's Corner, next season of Cousin. We're in season 3 of Cousin Ed's Corner right now. So season 4 is going to be tremendous. If you know anybody who thinks should be on Cousin Ed's Corner, definitely hit me up. Send them the link. I love to have a conversation with them about being on Cousin Ed's Corner. If you want to be on Cousin Ed's Corner, definitely hit me up. Once again, 762-333-2032. That's 762-333-2032. You can leave me a text message there. You can DM me on any social media platform under cousinedscorner.com. Cousin Ed's Corner. Cousin Ed's Corner on any social media platform. You can find me a DM there. Also, you can send me a professional email at Cousin Ed's Corner. At info at cousinedscorner.com. Info at cousinedscorner.com. You can leave me a professional email there. Reason why I got stumbled, because I had something else to tell you. Listen, you can find this show everywhere. Everywhere you can think of. You can say, hey, I'm going to say it. So if you're playing this out loud, watch out. Hey, Alexa, play Cousin Ed's Corner. Alexa will play Cousin Ed's Corner. You may have to, if you already listen to certain different stations, like certain different other apps, you may have to say what app you want to listen to it on, but it should play it on Instagram, on, what's it called? Amazon Music. It should play it on Amazon Music. But if you listen to it on TuneIn Radio, if you listen to it on Pandora, if you listen to it on Spotify, whatever you listen to it on, you can play it on those platforms. Also, we're on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, find Cousin Ed's Corner on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can play the whole show on Facebook. Some people say they play it on Facebook. You can find us on Audible Books. So if you want to take us with you like Audible Book, you can find us on Audible Books. There's so many places. This is one reason why I stopped looking at numbers, because it's all over the place. You can find Cousin Ed's Corner. So thank you. I love you. Continue to support this show. All I'm doing is doing it. I'm doing it for myself. I'm selfish. Doing a show for myself. I'm selfish. It's my therapy, but I enjoy having you in this session with me, right? I love you. It's so much the truth. There's nothing you could do about it. I love you. There's nothing you could do about it. It's your boy, Cousin Ed. I'm out of here. Thank you for giving me this time today. This episode right here was fun for me. So thank you for giving me the time today to have this conversation with you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great week. Don't forget, let me know what you think. Oh, lastly, let me know what you think. Go to cousinedscorner.com. Across the top of the page, leave a voicemail. I will play it eventually. I'll get them all compiled together and play them all. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love you. Have a great one. Peace. Thank you for listening to Cousin.